Hey guys, welcome back to Tamiya Legends, and once again, thank you for stopping by. So in this video, we're going to be building these brand new Tamiya high caps. These are from the 2017 Riri Top Force, which is Tamiya's part number 47358. Really cool. These Riri ones are like rocking horse poo already, which is such a shame. Tamiya just don't ever seem to build enough, in my opinion. But I'm glad they did, because the originals are super rare. The originals are better because they have different springs. They have a square wound. I don't know what the actual terminology is, but the spring wire is like a square. They're super original, super rare original Top Force ones. So I've never built these before, so I'm looking forward to it. For me, these are Tamiya's most iconic shocks. I'm not saying they're the best. They're not up there with TRF shocks or anything, but for vintage stuff, any vintage car that you get your hands on, if it's got a set of high caps on, the money goes up and you want it even more. So they're super cool looking. So let's get into them and see what's involved.
This is what you get. So obviously you've got the beautiful gunmetal grey shocks. You got the all four shock bodies and four springs are the same. But you do build these differently as front and backs, as you can see by the size of the pistons. There's two different lengths. Dampers, the bladder O-rings, circlips. I've separated this stuff up here because I believe that's more the mounting stuff, and that's the little screws for the shock adjustable collars. And that's pretty much it. It's kind of normal Tamiya thing where it's a double circlip on the piston with whichever size hole you use. I'll have to read the instructions, and it comes with soft damper oil, which is cool, and a little Tamiya spanner with the name Tamiya on. Cool. So we'll build them up as in front and backs. Right, so I've just got all the bits to build one. I'm going to build a front one first. So the first step is using the piston with the two cutouts in it. If you can see that. And then put a circlip on. It tells you in the instructions on front and backs to use the free hole. So I'm just going to do that. These are going on a show car anyway, which I'm certainly not going to run, but so I'll have to do this off camera so I don't lose these circlips. Right, so that's circlip top and bottom, very straightforward. And then we need to fit this alloy spacer, which this only goes on the front. And then that goes through the body, like that. And then we have a shaft guide, which I presume is this. We have an O-ring, which is that. And then we have the bottom of the shock, making sure we put that right way around. Now I've just got to put some damper oil around this O-ring. Just put a bit of oil on it. This just keeps the shaft nice and smooth. And then we push that all up together, just making sure, and then find that thread. Wiping that surplus off. I should have had a rag with me, but I didn't. And then it tells you to use a spanner, which is this one, to nip it up. Now I've got oil on my fingers, which is great. Give it a final little one. Obviously you don't over tighten these. Problem with these is gripping them more. There. Right, that's that shock body done. And then on the bottom we put the O-ring on, and then the bottom shock mount, which is threaded. Now I need to tighten this up, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to use long nose pliers, but I just need to get some soft cloth to put round so the teeth don't bite into this. Right, that's all tightened up and we've not damaged the piston. Nice and smooth. So next stage is to fill it. So you've got to make sure your piston is all the way down. And then we're using soft oil. And just let it settle. Close to the top. And then you're supposed to take your time on this bit, so I'll do this in segments. But basically you just move it up to remove the bubbles. And it also obviously makes the oil find its actual level. So I'm going to put a bit more oil in that. To about there. Okay, and we'll just give it one more. So I've got some bubbles in there now. There we go. Wants a little bit more. Thirsty, this one. I think we've got it that time. Make sure there's no bubbles. And then interestingly, on the instructions, once you've done the stage I've just done, then on the fronts you move the piston up so there's around about 7mm left, and then you put the bladder on top, and on the rears about 11mm. That's interesting. I've not really done that before. So we've let it settle. So now we want to adjust it to about 7mm. Which is about that, and then we're going to put the lid on. Obviously we'll lose a bit of oil here, and then get the top. Okay. That's a bit fiddly. It's very fiddly. I'm starting to get oil everywhere. Move that surplus oil off. I kind of don't want to force it, but I'm just going to turn it the opposite way until I find a thread. Oh wow, this is fiddly. This is another job I shouldn't be doing on camera. There we go. And then just hold it. I'm going to pull that piston. No, I'm not. I might as well do what it's saying. Some more oil coming out. Do that as tight as I can, then I'll pull that cylinder and we'll just wipe this excess oil away. Get it a little bit tighter. It's got plenty to go actually. More oils come out. Both these shots will look absolutely awesome. And that is that. A bit of rebound. Feels super smooth. And then we have the collar. Not too sure if this goes only one way. Fits on there. That way. So that slides to the top. Spring goes on, and then we have this unit here. Just double check. Put that on right. I want to make sure that the no, that just stays to the bottom. That's fine. That goes on like that, and then that goes over. Obviously, I need to put the screw in that collar, but there we have a high cap. And I know this doesn't come across on camera, but that is super smooth. That is absolutely ridiculous how nice that feels. So let's get cracking. I'll build the second front one and then we'll build the reverse ones. And that's them built. So how many of you guys are like me? We suffer from OCD with shocks not being built correctly. I mean, the shock collars, you know, are turned the wrong way around, so maybe two shock collars, the screw is both on the left hand side. Oh, it does my head in. So with these, this is where the ball joint goes. So these are all facing up. and then obviously I've got the shock collars the right way around with the screws facing, and also the bottoms, so the where you put them over the piston isn't showing. That's another bugbear of mine. It's LCD, that, guys. So as you can see, although the shocks are basically the same, the rears have a longer piston, and the rears, or the fronts, have one of these aluminium spacers that actually goes on the inside and doesn't have on the rear, but the spacer goes at the bottom. So with all that gives you your difference. So that's it, guys. Very straightforward, but very, very cool shocks. So these are going on my custom build top 4, so if you've not seen that yet, please check it out. That's like a 4-part series. And once again, guys, thanks for watching. It's much appreciated. And if you are new to this channel, if you could please consider liking and subscribing to support us, that would be awesome. And as always, guys, happy RCing.